Hi class, this is Dr. Karsten. I am so sorry about that. That was not a computer glitch. That was me accidentally pushing a button that I didn't want to push because I had to get up for a second. And I accidentally hit stop instead of pause. So I'm really sorry about that. But just to remind you, we are finishing up the problem set from lesson 27, module 5, grade 4, EngageNY math. And in this problem, we were doing problem 3 and it's 3F. We wanted to compare 12 thirds and 15 fourths, and so to make our lives easier, we decided to convert them both into mixed numbers. And we had already converted 12 thirds into 4 wholes. Now let's go ahead and take 15 fourths, and let's convert that into a mixed number. So again, I can skip count with my denominator. That's a shortcut. I could think 4, 8, 12, 16 is too big because it's larger than 15. So now I know I'm going to have 3 wholes. And then to go from 12 to 15, so I'd have 3 wholes, and then I'd have another 3 fourths. But let's do it the long way. So I'm pulling out 4 fourths because 4 fourths is a whole. So here I have 4 fourths, another 4 fourths is 8 fourths, another 4 fourths is 12 fourths. If I tried to do another 4 fourths, I'd be at 16 fourths. That's too many. I only have 15. So 4, 8, 12. From 12 to 15 is another 3 fourths. So I have 4 and 3 fourths. And by doing this, I can clearly see that here I have 4, here I have 4 and some more, 3 fourths, almost actually 5. So I know that 4 and 3 fourths is greater than 4, or 4 is less than 4 and 3 fourths, but we always want to compare the original numbers, and here we have 12 thirds is less than 15 fourths. Okay, let me do one more for you, and then you guys are going to be off to the races with the rest of them. Okay, so let's do 22 fifths and 4 and 2 sevenths. So for this one, again, the first step is I'm going to convert my 22 fifths into a mixed number. And if I look at that, again, I can do my multiples of 5, and I can say 5, 10, 15, 20. That's 4 wholes, and I'd have 2 fifths more. But let's do it the longer way. So we have 5 fifths, 10 fifths, 15 fifths, 20 fifths. So that gets me up to 20 fifths. If I do another 5 fifths, I'm going to be at 25, too much. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add on 2 fifths because I have 2 more pieces to add on. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 22. And this is going to become 4 and 2 fifths. So now what I can do is, since my whole number is the same, I have a 4 here and a 4 here, I can compare my 2 fifths and my 2 sevenths. So that's what we're going to focus in on. The thing is that 2 fifths, oh, look at that. It's so easy. We have 2 fifths and we have 2 sevenths. Our numerators are the same. So if I'm comparing 2 fifths and 2 sevenths, my numerators are the same. So I can just look at which of these are bigger pieces, which denominator gives me greater parts, right? So if I look at this, I would rather share a cake with 5 people, or among 5 people, than among 7 people, because I'm going to get bigger pieces here. So if I have 2 pieces in each cake, but this one was only cut into 5 pieces, I know that that's larger. So now what I know is that 22 fifths is greater than 4 and 2 sevenths. So I just want to check to see something. So here we have common numerators. Give me 1 second. So I'm actually going to model just one more of these for you. And the reason is that we haven't done where we had unrelated denominators. And I do want to do that really quickly with you. So here in H, we have 21 fourths and we have 5 and 2 fifths. So the first thing that I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to convert that 21 fourths into a mixed number. I'm going to do that on the side just to give us some room to work down here. So I'm going to take 21 fourths and, ooh, I shouldn't have written it so big. I'm actually going to rewrite that up here. And I know that doesn't look like it's a big difference, but it is. So again, I can skip count by 4s. So I could say 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 is too big. Walk it back 1. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to have 5 and 1 fourth. Let's do it the long way. We're going to pull out groups of 4 fourths. So that's 1, that's 2, so we're at 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, and if I did another group of 4/4, I'd have 24, and that's going to be too big. So instead, we're going to have 20, so then we'd have 1/4 more. So we have 20, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 21/4. And this becomes 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1/4. So since we have 5 and 1/4, and we're comparing it to 5 and 2/5, I can just compare the fractions. So I can just compare the 2/5 and the 1/4. But I don't have common numerators and I don't have common denominators. So what am I going to do? I am going to convert both of them. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to multiply the way we did before in the example. So let me take my 1/4, and I want to get a common denominator. So my original fraction is 1/4. I'm going to multiply this fraction by the other fraction's denominator, which is 5. And whatever I do in the denominator, I have to do in the numerator. 4 times 5 is 20. 1 times 5 is 5. So now I have an equivalent fraction. I know 1/4 is the same thing as 5/20. Now let's take our 2/5. And again, what I want to do is I want to take this fraction and I want to multiply this fraction by the other fraction's denominator, which is 4. So whatever I do in the denominator, I do in the numerator. 5 times 4 is 20. Now we have a common denominator. And 2 times 4 is 8. And now what I can see is that I have 5/20 and 8/20. My denominator is the same, so the sizes of my pieces are the same. But here I have more of them. So this guy is clearly bigger, which means 2/5 is bigger, which means this is bigger. So now I know that 21/4 is less than 5 and 2/5. All right, so now you have a bunch of examples. You have a bunch of different ways that you can do this. Again, I'm sorry, it was not a computer glitch. It was a Dr. Karsten glitch. Make sure you watch both videos, and I will see you in our Google Classroom. Have a great day.